What are some of your unethical life hacks?
Before we begin with the first story, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated with us.
Number 20. The weirdest I've heard of is rich moms hiring handicapped people to go to Disney with them so they and their children can skip all the lines.
Number 19. When lying, always include something slightly embarrassing, or something that makes you look bad, as part of your story. It's not only going to disarm their skepticism, admitting to something embarrassing gives an impression of humility, but even if they remain skeptical, they'll be left wondering why you would make something up that you'd rather keep secret if it were true.
Number 18. I have a bunch, here are a couple of my faves. Buy the cheapest ticket you can find for a sporting event you want to attend. 1 hour before it starts, log into StubHub to see which nice, but not heavily secured, seats are still available at a price point higher than the competition. Write a few of them down, and chances are you can sit there all game without any issue. Keep your next parking ticket, pay online, and put it on your windshield whenever you need to park illegally.
Number 17. This one should be kept a secret, but whatever. Next time you're at your dentist or any place that has a layout of various magazines, take a picture of the barcode, address, and name. When you get home, that's all the information you'll need. Log into the online version of the magazine. Either that or set it up on your iPad and enjoy free versions of magazines forever.
Number 16. Call up your TV provider and tell them you want to stop using them. To keep your business, they will offer extra channels. When the channels run out, repeat the process. I have had NFL Sunday Ticket on DirecTV for 3 years straight now for free.
Number 15. I've read it somewhere on Reddit a few years ago. If you need a car, any car, scan the obituaries and start calling numbers listed there. Start your call with, "I am calling about the car you had for sale." When people die, they leave behind a lot of stuff, including a car. Surviving relatives just want to mourn. Cars are for most just a burden.
Number 14. When buying college textbooks, if you want a paperback copy of your book rather than just torrenting a PDF for one, look for the edition of the text you want online but in the international version. I bought all my textbooks this semester in the international version and only spent about $100 when the new hardback non-international versions would have cost me $700. International versions are just printed, somewhere that doesn't have big copyright laws, usually China, and sold by someone who isn't the publisher. It was very satisfying buying my $250 Fluid Dynamics book for $20 online. Edit. Some people are saying that the international versions are not pirated or illegally printed textbooks, but they are the books that are for sale in other countries, England, Canada, where the markup on textbooks isn't as high. This is sometimes true. Some of my books are like that, but not all of them.
Number 13. If selling something on Craigslist, make a few dummy accounts and post up pictures of what you're selling, from different angles and locations, and make the price higher than usual. Then with your real account, put up what you are selling at a price lower than all the dummy accounts. People will see your low price and buy it, or if they're stupid, go for a higher price for some reason.
Number 12. When you are calling a utility/customer service number, and you need to speak to someone but receive an automated menu prompt, choose the Spanish option, then press 0. Multiple benefits here. More often than not, they do not hire reps that only speak Spanish. They will most likely be bilingual, and will handle overflow calls in English anyway. Second, Spanish speakers are less common in India, so the Spanish-speaking call centers are usually located in the US, so when you get the rep, you will not have to deal with language barriers often encountered with the Indian reps. In addition, the wait is usually not as long. Source: I used to work at a title company, and this usually worked when calling large corporate banks.
Number 11. I always sleep in the Islamic prayer rooms when I have a red-eye layover somewhere. They're fairly spacious, absolutely quiet, and clean as can be. There is plenty of room to lay down on the carpet, and security never comes in to bother you. Reply. As a Muslim, I have come into those rooms and have seen people sleeping, and even thought to myself that this is one of the few places on campus where you can take an afternoon nap with no issues. I would not mind at all unless you are being a nuisance.
Number 10. Looking for stock photos? Go to Google image search and enter in URL, stock without the quotes and then include a search term. This will find stock photos that lazy people put on their websites who didn't rename their stock photo files. In URL, stock is an alternative method. I know, I'm a rebel. I'm a bad boy for life.
Number 9. Make an appointment for the DMV for 2 weeks from today online, or whenever it's available. Save the confirmation page as PDF or HTML or JPG. Modify the date to today's date and the time to right now with Photoshop, or edit the HTML with a text editor or whatever you're most comfortable with. Walk into the DMV past all the sorry people waiting hours directly to the appointment line. Get served in under 5 minutes. Done this multiple times, it works. Sometimes they say, "Oh, you're not in the computer, weird. Doesn't matter, our system always screws up. Go ahead." Update: I just did this Thursday, 4 days ago. It still works. I live in San Francisco and was a little worried that too many other geeks may try this in the SF DMV and they will call me out on it. So instead I made an appointment for the Oakland Coliseum DMV, 15 minutes away if you're near the Bay Bridge. Modified the confirmation page using Chrome Dev Tools to that day's date at the time I wanted. When I showed up, even the check-in line was really long, but if you have an appointment you get to even skip that. They treat you like some genius. The guard pointed me at an empty counter near the long check-in line and said in an impressed tone of voice, "Appointment." The check-in lady immediately attended to me, ignoring the rest of the check-in line. I told her I had an appointment. She checked her printed out list and saw that I wasn't on it and said, "How did you make this appointment?" I replied, "Online," and handed her the printed out confirmation page. She rolled her eyes and gave me an appointment number. I was in and out of there in 20 minutes. I felt bad for the lifeless souls waiting in those lines. Based on their glazed eyes and defeated body posture, I'm guessing they've been waiting for 3+ hours. But I didn't feel bad enough to not go through with it. To all the commenters below saying, "Isn't it just easier to make the appointment normally and just go to it?" Yes, you're right, or even better, mail it in. But if you need something right now, this is how to do it.
Number 8. I always pick rock and rock paper scissors against my sister or in front of my sister. I end up doing dishes more, etc. But the odd time I really need something I pick scissors.
Reminds me of this joke. A young boy enters a barber shop and the barber whispers to his customer, "This is the dumbest kid in the world. Watch while I prove it to you." The barber puts a dollar bill in one hand and 2 quarters in the other, then calls the boy over and asks, "Which do you want, son?" The boy takes the quarters and leaves the dollar. "What did I tell you?" said the barber. "That kid never learns." Later, when the customer leaves, he sees the same young boy coming out of the ice cream store and says, "Hey, son, may I ask you a question? Why did you take the quarters instead of the dollar bill?" The boy licked his cone and replied, "Because the day I take the dollar, the game's over."
Number 7. Whenever I go to a big chain movie theater, I get my tickets from those electronic kiosks they have at the front, and I buy the child's price tickets. They're way cheaper. The guy ripping the tickets never gives a shit. I'm always prepared to say, "Oops, did I buy a kid's ticket by accident? Sorry," if I ever get caught, but I've done this at least a dozen times and have never been called on it.
Number 6. If you look like you know what you're doing, no one will bother you. To prove this in college, a friend and I walked into the student union holding a clipboard, walked straight over to a table, picked it up and walked out with it without anyone saying anything. Reply. My friend works with me in the IT department at our college. We're student workers. One time he walked right into campus safety and took one of their monitors and walked out. No questions asked.
Number 5. Never tell vendors for your wedding that you're hiring them for a wedding. It's an event or reunion. Big price difference.
Number 4. This is all part of a much bigger life hack. Always pretend like you belong somewhere. Keep your head up, your back straight, and walk with purpose. If you look nervous or sketchy, people won't trust you. If you act confident, people will rarely question why you're somewhere you don't actually belong.
Number 3. If you want to download movies, music or software, just Google them and read the DMCA complaints on the bottom of the search results. All the copyrighted material is conveniently listed there and where you can get them. Good guy Google.
Number 2. A plastic coffee stir stick can fool any pushing coin acceptor that loads the coins on edge. Just insert stir stick, push the mechanism forward until you feel the stick hit a bump, push the bump down with the stick and push the mech all the way in. I did my laundry for free all throughout school, and great for free pool at the bar. Edit. These are the stir sticks and coin mechs. You don't lose the stir stick, but it does get mangled quickly. The bump is at the bottom. Holding the stir stick at around a 30-degree angle pointing down seems best. When you feel the stick against something, feels like a spring-loaded bar that goes across the bottom of the slot. You push the stick, it lowers the bar and allows the mech to fully slide in. Some people say there is a gate. Maybe in the last 10 years there has been some advancement in these mechs. The last time I tried it was around 8 years ago on a sticker vending machine for shit and giggles.
Number 1. I love this one. Okay, so when buying beer, if a beer comes in both 6-pack and 30-pack form, each individual beer will have a barcode on them. If you scan this barcode at self-checkout, it will come up as a 6-pack. So, rip an inconspicuous hole into the side of the 30-pack and line a beer's barcode with your tear. Be careful. Make sure the box can still be carried without the small rip turning into a larger one. During self-checkout, it can get sketchy. On most checkouts, the price comes up briefly. I've done this many times and only been busted once. The employee said, "Wow, I can't believe they rung up that way, whatever." And we were on our way. Nothing like purchasing 90 beers for a little over $20. Edit. I'm drunk and didn't proofread.
Thank you for watching. If you like to watch more of these videos, please leave a thumbs up, comments, subscribe. And don't forget to share to your friends and family. I'll see you in the next video.